Welcome everybody, welcome back to Mates, Movies and Malts, the podcast where bigger is always better and subtlety is for cowards. Today we're diving headfirst into the golden age of muscle-bound mayhem, the era where action heroes were built like Greek gods, not you, and one-liners hit harder than punches, and every problem could be solved with a well-timed explosion. We're talking about the titans of testosterone, Arnold Schwarzenegger and Sylvester Stallone, Bruce Willis, the legends who made the 80s and 90s an all-you-can-eat buffet of biceps, bullets and bombastic spectacle. From Commando to Die Hard, Rambo to Predator doesn't count. These weren't just movies, they were adrenaline-fueled power franchises that redefined cinema. So grab your protein shake, strap on your ammo belt and get ready, because this episode is locked, loaded and ready to unleash total carnage. Let's get kicking.
You love that clap.
Aye. I do.
Love it.
I enjoy a clap. I also went heavy knit again this week. Chunky knit for
John Robertson will be buzzing.
John, aye. You told me he's the good looking one, isn't he?
Aye.
Aye, quite stylish, I say, I take it.
Man,
He must be, man, if he's
it's all for you, John.
That's another John. Aye, so we were talking there about like what makes these types of action movies and stuff like that, right? Steve, I believe you have some thoughts on what takes it to the next level and makes it an all-time kind of great action movie, and not just a movie that you love because it's explosions.
Yeah, I think the hallmark of a really good action movie is creative or inventive fight sequences. That is what I'm here for. Like, whether that's like a gunfight or like hand to hand, whatever it is. I think there's so many that just all like immediately come to mind. Like you've both seen the Raid and Raid 2.
Yeah.
Yes. So Raid 2 probably slightly better fight sequences and things like that. But like the prison fight scene where everyone is wearing exactly the same thing. There's so many people in it, and yet you never lose track of the two characters you're supposed to care about because of the camera work, and even though you get the wide shot and thing like that of the chaos that's erupting, because there's like three different sides that are all fighting, but you only care about two people in it, and it's the way that the camera, it almost feels like one shot, and I know it can't possibly be, but the way that it will follow one person as he's going through his style of fighting, and then will seamlessly like switch to the other one with just one swift camera movement, and you're back onto that guy and the way that he fights. I think there are some things that have been created and some styles that have been, I think the wide shot is something that's Asian cinema that introduced that for fight scenes, and then we kind of get it here, but possibly not as good. I'm sure there's some examples of like great ones, but yeah, it seems to be the fewer cuts you make in a fight scene, the better it's going to be, because you can follow the action and things like that. I think the word I'm looking for is clarity. Like, if you can follow like a fight sequence, it just makes everything so much better. I think certain movies that really stumble, so like the Transformers movies, that's just like metal mashing together, and you never know who you're watching fight. It's all over the place, and it's horrible.
Movies.
Yeah. Or what was the other really bad example? Taken 2. The shaky cam and the 15 cuts between two punches, and you never know what's happening, just that kind of stuff. I think that's what separates a really great action movie from a bad one.
I think that the interesting thing is, like when you talk about the different technicalities and stuff like that, like in all of cinema, there are things that directors do that just add something to it to make it an all-timer. So you think, and then they effectively almost become tropes of that director, right? So I'm thinking like Tarantino with the out of the trunk shot, when people open the trunk for the inside and there's a camera in it, stuff like that. The Scorsese, the tracking shot, the opening of Goodfellas, one continuous shot through the kitchen, and it just makes you feel like you're in that restaurant. Exactly, that's exactly what they called it, isn't it? It's a POV tracking shot. And now you're starting to see it in TV and stuff like that. So like Daredevil's back just now, and Daredevil was massively well known for how good the fight scenes were and how good the whole the corridor scenes and stuff. And even that's a great example, because in that initial corridor scene in episode 1 or 2 of Daredevil in the Netflix series, the camera doesn't come out the corridor even when they do. And it's just brilliant seeing, because you don't need to be watching it, because you know they're knocking certain shades out of each other, and then they come back in and you get the impact of them busting through a door or falling through a wall. And there's loads of examples. Casino Royale, when they use the shot in the chase scene when Daniel Craig's Bond's chasing the parkour guy, and he's chasing him through and stuff like that, and he's like this little skillful runner and everything, and they're just using it as an example to show that James Bond's a bit of a blunt instrument this time, so he's running through walls. When so I think it's a great point, but action's really, really hard to actually manage well. And to be able to follow, because if you can't follow, this is why Chinese and Hong Kong cinema and stuff's amazing, because they were doing these unbelievable fight scenes that you could follow by having 2 static cameras. Do you know what I mean? And not trying to do too many cuts. Taken's a great example. Anyway, apologies.
I think you only added to my point, so that's great. Thank you.
Any thoughts?
No, man, I think I've covered everything. I'm good.
I'm good with the technicalities of directing action cinema.
Fuck, man, just kick fuck out each other. Let's get kicking.
Bringing some highbrow movie thoughts to Mates Movies and Malts this week. So listen, guys, let's move on with the topics. There's my clap again.
Yep, you love it.
That's what makes a good action podcast. The guy in the middle and a chunky neck clapping his hands. I think I'm Doctor Who.
Right, guys, that's the first break.
What we're going to talk about now is the top 5 action stars. Our favourites. Right, we're not talking about who's the best actor and whatever else.
Our favourites,
which is I understand. What I'm going to be interested to know.
Shadowing number 2.
I'm going to be interested to know in which order yours are.
Well, you told us to do them for least to best.
Yeah.
Yes, when you set the whole
cool. That's what I've done.
You
So
said least to best for actors and movies.
good, because if it had been best to least, then I'd have been.
It was about 6 weeks ago.
You were about to have to, my mum was about to have to do something with the track shop and read the plot. You know what I mean? Keep that steady while he goes out that window.
Your mum's getting enough bother with the static shots, let's be honest.
Very true.
I mean, the track. Still in focus.
So, who's... I can't stop it. Right, I'm going to sit my hands.
You a pair of gloves.
I'm still doing it. So, let's start with you, Stephan, because I know yours. Who is your 5th greatest action star?
Okay, 5th. So we set this up ages ago. I've changed this a few times, but number 5 now for me is Jackie Chan. I absolutely love that guy. He has been in one of my top 5 favourite action movies, and yeah, he's been in some great stuff, but I particularly love him because I don't know anyone, and there might be some, but I don't know anyone who uses the environment that he's fighting in his like fight sequences better than that guy. Where he's having a fight just determines how that fight's going to go. Just everything, every prop is a weapon. I think he's so creative with it.
He's a genius.
Hilarious as well.
Yeah, he's so funny. He's willing to be like the butt of the joke. He gets his ass kicked constantly, but he still wins in the end. He's so lovable. He's always got great chemistry. Everyone his way.
He is also on my list. He is my 2nd favourite.
Wow,
he's 4 on me.
Yeah,
the man's work ethic is unreal. Literally almost dying while doing his own stunts to make movies.
I remember the one where he, I think it was Police Story 2, when he slides down when he's in the shopping mall, and he slides down the
light.
Well, it's like a pole with the lights on it, and they're all exploding in his hands, and he get like 50-degree burns in his hands. He's a genius, man. Like,
he is
tremendous.
It's the definition of fight choreography. Do you know what I mean? And like, the amount of times some of the best bits of Jackie Chan's movies were the outtakes at the end. Because one person makes a move the wrong way because they miss a step, and he gets punched in the face. And he's
he doesn't hit his mark, and he goes to throw a punch, and he's like fucking 6 inches away from the guy's face. The guy's still trying to say it. He's like, fucked it.
It's good.
And he's in his 70s now.
Still making movies.
Still creating content.
Yeah. I didn't. You never said anything about like picking out like your favourite like fight scene or anything like that. But I just wanted to point out one of the ones that I really liked is I'm doing it anyway, is Who Am I?
Oh, I love
the rooftop fight scene. Particularly, the fight scenes are fantastic, and the two guys he's fighting against have got distinct styles, which makes it all the more interesting. But the moment I really love in that is there's a point where he's fighting the guy, and the two guys that are fighting him are wearing suits. And as he starts using the guy's suit against him, the guy that's waiting to jump in starts taking stuff off. Like he takes the suit jacket off, and he sees him getting tangled up, and he takes the tie off. I think that's really good.
One of the things I loved about Who Am I is it was right at that point when off the back of Rush Hour and Shanghai Noon and stuff like that, and Jackie Chan becoming quite big in Hollywood and not just in Hong Kong, a lot of his older movies obviously started getting released with dubbing, but there was a lot of characters that were speaking English in that, and they redubbed over the English. So you can literally see the person speaking English, but their lines have been redubbed by another actor, and it's just really weird looking, but
Really
again,
distracting.
unintentionally funny.
Yeah.
But Jackie Chan, man, he's an absolute legend. Even in his own cartoon TV show, if I remember that.
They did a game as well.
Did he?
It was a PlayStation game.
Oh, nice.
Based on
On the adventures. I like it.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I just wish he was doing more stuff.
I know. Well, he's going to be in the
Still
Karate Kid. He's going to be in the new
mainstream.
Karate Kid. I think. Other than that, he's been in a couple of wee things. Apparently, he was in the new. Just randomly laugh at your own wee thing.
Sitting, watching,
Just sitting, reading. Right, okay.
No, sorry.
Yeah, that's fine. No, all I was going to say was he was in the Mulan remake, but I didn't watch that because.
I did.
Does he have a notable part, or is it just?
I forgot he was in it until you just mentioned it.
Ah, right, okay, fair enough. I
forgot they'd even done the live action
Let's
Mulan.
get down to business.
He's also been he's done a lot of animated stuff. He's done all the Kung Fu Panda movies and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But I'm off the back of Cobra Kai. I'm excited about the next Karate Kid movie now. I'm looking forward to it, so, and it'll be interesting to see him in it. But I don't know how big of a part he's going to play.
Yankee's going to.
I think he's going to deliver the kid to Daniel, and it's going to be Karate Kid with Daniel being Mr. Miyagi. Is kind of what I think's going to happen.
I think that would disappoint a lot of audience, mainstream
I think so.
audiences. Everyone that watches Cobra Kai would be fine with that.
I don't really think there's going to be too much of a mainstream audience watching it. It's going to be
I think
Cobra
so.
Kai and Karate Kid fans. I think.
Fair.
And hopefully the expectations are exactly that. Hopefully they're not expecting it to be an Avengers-sized hit. Do you know what I mean?
And the other thing I was going to mention was all this time I thought I had seen Police Story, and I haven't. I've seen Police Story 3 Super Cop.
Oh man, the first two are amazing.
I now need to go watch the first two.
Remember the Police Story is the one with the bus as well?
Yes.
Oh man, so good. We'll not say any more than that, but you need to watch Police Story urgently.
I know, I realised that
All time
instantly when I realised I got the news.
Hey Pedro, number 5 for you.
Number 5 for me, and I feel like you guys might feel this is quite low, but it's Bruce Willis. Right, I love him.
Yeah.
The only reason that he's not higher is because I think that he's one of maybe two that you could make this argument for on the list, where yes, he has got all-time action movies, but he also became an actor's actor. He was doing Tarantino films, he was doing The Sixth Sense and stuff like this, and he had massive success doing that as well.
Can I just ask, do you not count Pulp Fiction as an action movie?
No, of course not.
Okay.
You won't have it on your list anyway. So.
It was in my list of 50 that I was trying to narrow down.
No wonder it's 50 if you've got Pulp Fiction in
Narrow
it.
down 50 films to 5.
Pulp Fiction's a crime movie, man.
Okay.
But he started branching out and doing lots of stuff that wasn't just about the explosions and whatever else. So that's why he's at 5. I think he's probably, if not the best, then the second best actor on the list. On my list, but he's an all-timer, man. He's brilliant. Made it. The wisecracks became a really big thing for him when he broke through into Die Hard. Die Hard 3, I think, is forgotten about as being a proper.
Die Hard 3 is my favourite Die Hard.
Love it, man. Love it.
But I think it's more Samuel Jackson that makes it better.
Oh,
I
100%.
think
Bruce Willis bounces so well off him as well, and like the scene where he goes down with the sign. And I don't know what Borough is or whatever, what scheme. But wherever he goes, he's obviously taking his life in his hands, and it's just, it's absolutely brilliant. So Bruce Willis for me. You guys got him?
I don't know, but I want to ask you a question. So, taking it is still an action-esque film, do you think he is a better actor in Die Hard or in Hudson Hawk?
I mean, I would say Die Hard. The only thing I would say in counter to it is that he's basically playing Bruce Willis in Die Hard. So I see the point, but I still think Die Hard because Hudson Hawk's an absolute car fire.
I had Bruce Willis as number 1. I genuinely believe that the 3 Die Hard movies, and including the 4th one, I really like the 4th Die Hard movie.
So
I understand the arguments that it's not really a Die Hard movie, but I think those were enough. 5 is terrible. You just need to pretend that didn't happen. But no, I thought those were good enough, and then you add in things like The Fifth Element. I know you've said that technically doesn't count as too sci-fi, but then okay, I can't say Pulp Fiction. Red,
stop naming films.
Red, Looper, Mercury Rising. Did you not love that film?
Mercury Rising was I like that.
I've actually mentioned Mercury Rising twice in the last week.
That's weird.
That's mental.
Great film.
Yeah, and obviously
Really good.
Sin City as well,
Yes.
which is kind of a comic book movie, but still.
Yeah, it's definitely a comic book movie. It's not
But
Kingdom.
no, I think just the Die Hard films alone is enough for him to get my number one and be my favourite.
The thing I would say as well, look, when I'm saying things like when we were talking about the Fifth Element, right? There's massive, pardon the pun, but there's massive action elements to that. He is still performing action scenes in that, so it absolutely counts as part of the conversation. It's just when you're talking about your top 5 films later on, what we're talking about is ones where the action is the main character. So that's all I mean by that. But 100%, like when you're talking about Sin City, yes, it's a comic book movie, but there's some massively amazing action scenes in it, and it's still him being an action star.
Yeah,
Do you know what I mean?
another great one I didn't even mention because I forgot to write it down. The Last Boy Scout.
Great
How
film.
great
Great film.
that fucking film.
How
That's
did you
a
get past that realm?
brilliant.
Circumvented it.
That's a great film, man.
Anyway,
Nah, you're going to leave that cupboard shut, and I'm going to put 3 bullets in it.
Yeah.
Also, by the way, I'm sorry, but what sort of wife in the world is married to Bruce? Well, I nearly said Bruce Lee.
And shagging the fat guy.
And going with that guy.
Aye.
Do you know what I mean?
Who would cut Flory's finger off the shagger?
The only other thing I remember him from off the top of my head now was My Cousin Vinny, funnily enough.
Yeah.
But anyway, so your number 1, my number 5, Bruce Willis, and he didn't make your list.
No, Bruce Willis didn't make my list.
So who's at your number 5 that made it instead of Bruce Willis?
Steven Seagal. There's just a part of me, I used to love watching Steven Seagal films when I was younger, like Out for a Kill, and I can't actually remember any other titles of his films, but I used to love watching them. There was the one where fucking woman for CSI was in it. It was to do with like a mine. I remember watching that over and over and over again. He was like an environmental protection agent. He was just going about murdering all these people because they were poisoning the water and stuff. And it was always like the bad guy in these films was always like the rich white guy who was just trying to exploit all these loopholes to make money. And there was the one where he done with Michael Caine, which was the oil rig.
Aye.
And they were trying to...
I was probably Michael Caine was still making absolute drive by.
Like that, there's just something about Steven Seagal films that just always scream childhood to me, and I love watching
I
them.
think the reason I despise him is because I didn't watch Steven Seagal films until I was older and was already aware he was a bit of a prick.
Oh no, he's an arsehole.
And also,
he's a
I
bully.
can't get on board with the way he runs. So he does his arms when he runs.
No. I'm not saying...
You can't point at that guy as he's running and say action star.
I am not petitioning for Steven Seagal the man. I am petitioning for the action star.
Listen, he's absolutely in the debate, and he made every single film he made.
Under Siege and Under Siege 2 are two of my
Great
favourite
films,
films
really
still
good
to this day.
films.
They're on Disney Plus. If you've not seen them, watch them.
I loved Under Siege. Under Siege 2 I liked, but I thought Under Siege would have looked fine in an Arnold Schwarzenegger's
Can you
character.
remember who his niece was in Under Siege 2?
No.
Catherine Heigl. That was like one of the first things she done.
God, aye.
She was his
Aye,
niece.
that's right, aye.
And
Well,
again,
maybe that's where she became
It
an
was
arsehole.
a terrible fucking bad guy. It was just a guy who was fucking... He stole a train and was just hijacking like, data. It was data.
It's just data.
And he was about shooting it.
Never specify whose or what.
I was like...
That's just before the days of GDPR, mate.
undercover agents or something.
Right, okay. Fair
Environmental
enough.
protection agents.
Do you want some Steven Seagal trivia?
Yes.
Please.
Scott's mother went to see Steven Seagal
Playing saxophone.
singing at the ferry in Glasgow.
Mhm.
The Renfrew ferry. It was, and she got his autograph.
Big
Was he
time,
terrible?
Big time.
She loved him. She had his CD. She actually got his CD on the night and all that as well.
Big on the sax.
There you go, he sold one.
He
I think
was a
it just
sax
wasn't just
man.
sax, it was
I was just singing that as well. Play guitar.
Aye.
singing. She went
Hello,
to
John.
a bit country.
Sure, he's one of those guys that had it written into his
I live in
contract
country.
that he wasn't allowed to lose a fight
Yeah.
on screen.
Aye, there was. I remember there was a big thing about it with Michael Jai White.
Yeah.
Oh, by the way, Michael Jai White could be a shout for this. I just don't think he had anything.
He's not got enough
Main-
big
main-
movies.
No, he
Spawn
doesn't.
was like the biggest solo thing that he had.
Yeah, Spawn was really good, and
Tremendous.
like Blood and Bone is really good as
Yeah.
well. But the
I've seen that.
only problem with that one is he suffers from that whole. He's just the best all the time. He's never
Aye.
under any real pressure or danger, so it makes it difficult.
And that happened a lot with the action stars, but that's why, like, your underdog hero, that's why Jackie Chan's was so good.
Yeah.
It's why Bruce Willis in a film that I'm sure will come up later on, it's why it worked so well. Do you know what I mean? They weren't supposed to win. Do you know what I mean? And I think that's what makes it work. Whereas if it was just they were almost... I remember they used to talk about James Bond, and there was a big deal when it was Die Another Day, actually. In fact, this time it's World's Not Enough when they've got the speedboat race in the River Thames.
Aye.
And then he ended up in the hot air balloon and whatever else, and then he falls off it and he hits the Millennium Dome, because obviously the Millennium, it was coming out at that time, and it was, oh look, we've got a Millennium Dome. And he fell on it and hurt himself, and there was a whole big thing about it was the first time James Bond had ever been hurt.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? When they're superheroes, it's ridiculous.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And it's got to be a certain level of charisma, I think, to be able to carry that off. But it always hits better when it's someone that's getting hurt and stuff like that and getting through it. Do you know what I mean?
It's just I always feel like I'll enjoy an action movie more as you see like your main character battling through, taking damage but carrying on anyway. Just like, and by the end of it, if he's like limping, I think like Indiana Jones is a great one. You see like the toll of the movie on him by the end of it.
It's not the years, it's the mileage.
Yep.
Aye, totally agree. In at number 4, mine was Jackie Chan.
Alright. So went with Keanu Reeves.
Keanu.
I fucking love Keanu Reeves. He's absolutely amazing and everything that he's in.
I never put him on my list.
He's not on my list again, but I don't know who I would be able
Listen,
to...
we'll all have painful omissions, man. Somebody's going to mention something and
Somebody's got to miss out, haven't they?
Yeah, and that's it. And it's not like... Oh, Point Break's amazing.
Tremendous.
Like we've already I've mentioned that one, mentioned Speed, The Matrix. Obviously, you've got to say that one, and the John Wick movies.
John Wick movies, overrated. Yeah, they're good.
Right.
They're good, but they're not masterpieces the way people go on.
No. The first one is a fantastic
movie.
Action movie. The rest of them, they get a little bit more ridiculous, but they just have the action sequences are still creative enough and well shot enough for me to still love those movies. I'm not trying to say like I understand. I don't think 2, 3 or 4 are better than or even on par with the first one, but I still really enjoy the John Wick movies, mostly because I love Keanu Reeves in action movies.
I remember when I think it was when 3 came out, people were talking about it as if it was the greatest action movie ever made and everything, and it's not. Like they're absolutely very decent movies. They're good movies. They're a solid 7 out of 10. I would say the first one's a 7.5, maybe an 8. But people talk about them as if they are Die Hard.
Yeah.
No.
And they're just not. Like it's recency bias and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I just think. Do you know another example actually? And it's a film that maybe might come up later on. But Mad Max Fury Road.
Yep.
Right. Really good.
Right.
But it's good. That's it. It's really good. And I saw it on Empire, and I usually find Empire pretty decent. I saw on Empire they had it down as the number 1 best movie of the 21st century.
Wow.
That's fucking...
Do you know what I mean?
Just
And you hear stuff like that all the time. They talk about it as if it's this modern masterpiece. It's not. It's a really good legacy.
It's really good.
That's
It's really good movie. I'd go back and watch it again.
Aye, but you don't need to.
But that's saying
Number
too
1
much.
movie of all time. And I think John Wick gets that level of praise, and I don't think it deserves it.
Right, okay. Well, I do love John Wick, and of the more recent action movies, I do think it's up there. But I don't think it doesn't really beat some of the classics from like 80s and 90s era.
I wouldn't even put it in Keanu's top action movies.
No, well, that's probably Speed for me.
Speed, Matrix, Point Break.
Again, I think a simple storyline in an action movie, clear stakes set early on, and then you just see that through over 90 minutes.
Yeah.
Perfect.
90 minutes exactly.
Exactly.
Did you specifically not pick Keanu for a reason, or did you just forget him?
Nah, I just forgot him because I was too excited about everybody else.
That's
about.
You're raging you got cigar now, aren't you?
No, I'm actually not. I'm happy with my choices. I've made my choices and I'll stick to them.
Oh, what were you laughing at?
I was laughing at because you were talking about Jackie Chan. I went back to look at Shanghai Noon and quotes from Shanghai Noon, and I burst out laughing when it was that one when we were in the prison and the guy says wet shirt, and it was like
it's not by it's piss shirt.
You
said wet shirt don't break, not piss shirt bend bars.
I knew that would make me laugh out loud.
Keanu Reeves.
Yep.
So I love Keanu.
So like,
just
clap between takes.
The clap. I done that on purpose, to be fair. I did, I promise you.
It's because you stopped yourself.
I'm going to start that. The next time I'm going to do the Dumbledore one. Just disappear. So anyway, Keanu Reeves.
Yeah. I'm lost now.
You love him.
I love him.
You love him. You forgot him. Listen, he was in my consideration 100%, and I just, the only thing was, just in my head was, do I see him as iconic an action star as these other guys? He's an iconic guy, I love him, but I just don't know if he's quite ahead of the five that I've got, and that was the only differentiating factor. But
they're our list.
I could easily defend someone saying he's number one. You know what I mean? Yeah.
Number 4 for me is Muscles Through Brussels, Mr. Jean-Claude Van Damme. What a guy.
Yeah.
Absolute shagger.
Absolute love him, didn't put him in my list.
Did you not?
Nah, he's not amazing.
You love JCVD as well, the film?
I do,
the actual
film
is really good.
Tremendous. But I remember when that came out, you were buzzing, you watched that so many times.
Yeah. Well, I just, because I loved him so much at that time, it's just as I've gotten older, other people have just slightly got ahead. He's probably 6th, realistically, he's probably sitting number 6, because I do still love him, and he's made some absolutely brilliant and some absolute crap.
That's the only reason he's not on mine. I think he's got a higher percentage of shite than not shite.
Bloodsport.
Bloodsport's
great. Kickboxer.
Yeah.
Time Cop.
Time Cop was brilliant.
Universal Soldier.
Hard Target.
Hard Target I think was alright. I liked
Just
it.
alright?
What was the other one that I really loved?
I thought Hard Target would be like
Kickboxer.
just the right amount of cheesy. I just said that.
That's just
Did you? I didn't hear you
That's
say
just
that.
a
Apologies.
just Bloodsport.
It is, but it's a comedy.
Aye.
No,
Kumate!
I do like him. I love lots of his films. But again, I just think he's just outside. He did.
Doing
Did you see that? Was it a Coors advert or something? Done it to the two lorries. I mean, that is good.
Yeah.
Aye, love Jean-Claude Van Damme. Sometimes don't understand what he's saying, but I'm absolutely fine with it. Because
Totally
the
feeling it.
direction he's going with.
Totally feeling it.
He's made it.
Great choice.
He's made
It's amazing.
it.
It's one of them. He's definitely in that discussion of iconic
And
action
we didn't
stars.
even mention possibly his best ever movie, Street Fighter.
Street Fighter.
He's so
It's one of the most underrated films of all time.
one of the best speeches in any movie.
If only we'd done an episode about films for childhoods and that.
Yeah, it existed somewhere. We should just redo it.
That's on an iPad somewhere.
I know, we do it. I don't know if it is anymore. You can't grumble, you can't argue with JCVD. He's legend. I also loved his appearance in Friends.
Yeah.
When he turns up,
Yes.
he's
Played himself.
right. Congratulations. So number 3 for me then, guys, is Tom Cruise.
Great choice.
I love him. I think, again, like the Bruce Willis thing, I think you can make an argument for him not being exclusively an action star, but I still think right now he's kind of single-handedly holding the action genre up. There's not a lot of those types of films being made, and he's the one that's pushing the envelope. He's the one that, again, like you said about Jackie Chan earlier on, the man puts his life on the line for it. You know what I mean? I think he convinces in every single movie he's in, and I think he's made some of the best action movies ever made over the years. So I think he's absolutely brilliant. In actual fact, and I've always found it quite interesting with Tom Cruise, it's quite hard to pick out that many bad movies he's made in a 40-year career.
I think he does seem to pick, he picks well. I also don't think he's like Bruce Willis in the fact that he hasn't made movies for the sake of making movies. It really does seem to be like he'll get really interested in a film and then he'll make that film. If he doesn't care about it, he's not going to go out for it.
I think a way you could phrase it about Tom Cruise is he's the last true movie star, right? And what I mean by that is, like, I've said this before, I'm sure, on the pod, right? People don't go, as big as stars are, right? People don't go to the cinema now to see the new person's movie. They don't. I can't wait to see the new Margot Robbie film. I can't wait to go and see the new Robert Downey Jr. film. It's about the franchise. It's about what the film actually is. We done the Oscars episode a wee while ago, and we were talking about, like, God, there's actually not much mainstream stuff. Even at the Oscars anymore, right? You don't go to see. I think Chalamet might break through it, but still, it's not like, I can't wait to see the new Timothy Chalamet movie.
I think there is one person I think that kind of meets that, but that's just specific for me. I'll watch anything that Ryan Gosling makes.
I think he falls into that category. But again, the stuff that he's making, I don't think he's the main selling point of the movies.
No, the movie still has to be like advertised, whereas it's not just going to be, Ryan Gosling made a movie.
Exactly.
Go watch it.
Whereas Tom Cruise, Brad Pitt's the other one, but Brad Pitt's obviously again making more kind of actory stuff, whereas Tom Cruise has moved more into they've done it in reverse. Brad Pitt was doing, like he always did, kind of more interesting stuff, but Tom Cruise was doing Scorsese films, Colour of Money, he was doing Vanilla Sky and stuff like that, and then over the last 15-20 years it's been action. But it's really difficult to pick out bad Tom Cruise movies. The new Mummy wasn't amazing.
That wasn't amazing.
But it gets more hate than it deserves.
I don't think that's down to him though. Like I'm not a massive fan of Tom Cruise. He didn't make my list, but he does have an honorary mention. The boy puts work in. I don't like the person, but I respect his work. I think it was Warner Brothers really let everybody down because they tried to reinvent the whole
the Monsters universe.
They started it with Dracula Untold, which was really good. I really liked that film, and then they tried to do the Mummy again, and
Said no, it wasn't, but okay.
I really enjoyed it.
Didn't even watch it.
I really like Luke Evans. I think that's why.
Luke Evans. I like Luke Evans as well.
But
the
Mummy was let down by the script, I think, more than anything.
The whole premise of trying to create that world of having it, the monsters would also have to be the bad guys. It ruins those movies.
A lot of them. So again, as a piece of cinema in its own right, that Mummy film, it gets talked about as if it's like The Room. And it's just not. It's a perfectly serviceable action film. The girl Sofia Boutella, it was interesting, gender swapping the Mummy. She was a threat. She was good. I loved her in the Star Trek movie as well. She was in Beyond. So I think that Tom Cruise, as I say, he's the last bastion of going to see a movie because Tom Cruise is in it. And then there's a couple of films that we'll mention later on. But Tom Cruise at 3.
Fair.
Cool. My choice for number 3 is Jet Li.
Above Jackie Chan?
Above Jackie Chan. Wow. Purely because as much as I love as much as I love Jackie Chan, there was a period of time where anything Jet Li made, I was going to watch it, and I was also actively going back to try and see all of the stuff that he made before he broke through and started making like movies for American audiences, and he was just always so good. All his fight sequences just kind of blew me away. And I think even though there had been other people who had made those type of movies, Jet Li was the one that I got to experience those movies for the first time through. Was how much I wanted to see him in these films and him in these roles and these incredible fight scenes he was in. Because I think I was going back and watching those ones. See, before Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon came out, obviously Jet Li's not in that, but that was like the first one of those movies that got people going back and watching loads of Chinese cinema.
Yeah. Off the back of that, they did House of the Dragon, I think it was, and they did the
House of Flying Daggers.
Sorry.
Actually, the Crouching Tigers.
And because of the success of that, they got to make Hero, the Jet Li is.
Hero's amazing.
Hero's amazing. But
I think that was off the back of that.
Well, no, I think the success of
I don't think if Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon, if that didn't do as well, those probably wouldn't have got made in the West.
That's my point. They wouldn't have been made for Western audiences.
I thought because Hero wasn't made for a Western audience. Like Hero was made the way that was the whole thing about it. It was made the way they made the film.
I guess
I think Jet Li had.
It got the.
I think that was done on the strength of Jet Li rather than how. I can imagine Crouching Tiger. I think it's got to have played a role. But I think that at that point when Jet Li got that made for that audience, it was off the back of how well Jet Li was doing more than anything else.
That's great, but I still think that Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon created a hunger for those types of movies that wouldn't have existed without it. If Hero comes
you could go one further back though with Choy Yun Fat, and you could go Hard Boiled. Because that was amazing, and that led to that, and so I will accept that. I think if that doesn't do so well, because there was definitely a jump up, massive. So I think I just hadn't thought of that before, but I also don't think Choy Yun Fat or anybody else. I don't even think Jackie Chan could have got Hero made.
No,
do you know what? I think that was a Jet Li film, and it's an amazing film.
It's an amazing film. One of his better ones, but sorry mate, on you go.
No, you go.
No, all I was going to say was, in fact, I'll just mention very quickly the movies that I repeatedly watched because I love Jet Li so much. Kiss of the Dragon, great film. The one I've already mentioned, Romeo Must Die,
best one.
It's a fantastic film, love that one. And obviously he was in Lethal Weapon 4, but again, you don't really watch that movie for him, but I thought he was great.
He did bring a different dynamic. Lethal Weapon 4 is another one that gets hate for no reason. Lethal Weapon 4 is brilliant. Aye, I'm buzzing. I can't wait.
I'm fine, I'm all in.
Give me it.
Yeah. And then I've also gave a special mention to Forbidden Kingdom just because I
I
got
love
to see Jet
Forbidden
Li
Kingdom.
and Jackie Chan in the same film.
Loved it, and I actually really liked the boy Michael Angelano as well, and he's not really going on too much, and I thought at that point he looked like he was going to be good, but I loved Forbidden Kingdom. The one you didn't mention there that you've got, which is absolutely brilliant,
Oh, Unleashed.
Unleashed.
Yeah.
Tremendous.
Great.
Samuel L. Jackson, this is the best shot in all of Glasgow, and it's the Spa. Oh man, Unleashed was so good.
Morgan Freeman.
That's what I meant. Who did I say?
Samuel L. Jackson.
I definitely meant Morgan Freeman, apologies.
Yeah, Morgan
Harry
Freeman.
Crow Road in Glasgow.
There you go.
Great film.
Yeah.
Brilliant film. Danny the Dog,
Yeah.
Bob Hoskins, the late great.
Yeah.
That was a brilliant film, man.
Nah, I really enjoyed that. So yeah, Jet Li number 3.
I mean, I can't argue with it. Again, it's your list, but I think above Jackie Chan, man, that's...
Just because of what he means to me.
Yeah,
Just because we've said Jackie Chan quite a lot,
Jackie Chan.
I remembered a story.
Imagine that was what you said in the Jackie Chan stuff.
Jackie Chan.
Jackie Chan. Jackie Chan.
Let's get kicking. We were going down to Blackpool one day. It was me and a few boys that we used to work with, and we stopped just about Carlisle for breakfast because we left dead early. There was a McDonald's, and we stopped and we got into the McDonald's, and there was a group of Asian tourists. There was an older gentleman who was dressed very, very young. He had like a pair of Jordan Dunks on and like, baggy jeans and a snapback hat on. And the boy was with his Gary, he was like, look, there's Snapbacky Chan.
Aye, that's good.
Oh man, that was about 6 years ago when we started talking about that.
That is good going.
That's a good one.
Snapbacky Chan, it was tremendous.
Aye, I'm feeling that. I'm
Right,
feeling
number 3 for me is Mr. Sylvester Stallone. He's just fucking...
Not on my list.
He is the yin to Arnold Schwarzenegger's yang.
He was going to get someday.
He's the other side of the coin to Arnie. I think we mentioned that we're going to talk about Sylvester and Arnie later on, so I've got a wee bit, but I'll keep that for that. But I think Sylvester Stallone puts an absolute shift in. I think he tries really, really hard. He doesn't make the greatest films. He really doesn't, apart from Rocky. Rocky's like 1 and 2.
First Blood.
Aye. Rambo. One of my favourite Sylvester Stallone
Demolition
films is
Man.
Cobra.
Cobra's a great film.
I love Cobra.
Yeah, Cobra.
Demolition
Man,
Man's amazing.
Demolition Man is amazing.
He's made some tremendous
Copland's.
films. Copland's brilliant.
Is it Assassins?
Assassins.
Aye,
Don't
aye,
even do it.
aye,
really good.
Great film.
He's
The one
made some
with
great
James Woods. What was the one with James Woods?
Oh.
The Demolition Experts. He was the rigger and I was the trigger.
I know, the Daylight's the Tunnel.
Daylight again. Amazing
Daylight,
film.
great film. He's my
number
number 1, and
Is he?
it's not even. I don't even think it's debatable. I think the big thing, we'll talk about it a little bit later on, but the big thing is that how many actors in the history of Hollywood have had 2 characters as iconic as Rocky and Rambo?
Yeah.
Very, very few. And then you add to that the fact that he created one of them. Because you could say Harrison Ford, he's got 2 major characters, right? Multiple major characters, but he's Indiana Jones and he's Han Solo. Didn't write anything, didn't create anything, he just performed them. Sylvester Stallone made Rocky. Do you know what I mean? So for me, he's what it's all about.
I think it's fair.
Yeah.
Cool.
Great shout. Like I said I didn't put him in my list, but again he's just on the
Wild,
periphery.
man. Wild, not in the top 5 action movies.
But
Action
I've
stars
never
ever
loved
done. I know, but within reason.
I've never loved him more. Than
Sorry,
Arnold.
number 2.
Oh, number 2. Yep. So wait, isn't it you then? Or you want to save it?
No, because slide with my number 1. I went first with the 3. I had Tom Cruise.
I've just peeked at your list. We've got the same number 2.
Nice.
Arnie.
Arnie.
My number 1.
Yeah. Great choice. He is just amazing.
He's absolutely amazing. I think it's wild to me you've not got Sly on your list, man. I can't get over that.
We're talking about Arnie now.
Gently above Jackie Chan, and Sly's not even on the top 5, man. That's going to absolutely torpedo a segment later on, but we'll soon find out.
I'll just be quiet.
No, I'm still be interested. What is it you love about Arnie?
Everything. Just, I think it's mental because one of my biggest problems that I have with action movies, and I've mentioned that a couple of times, is when they're like too invulnerable, when they're too strong. Like I usually prefer like the everyman like action hero, but for some reason Arnie gets a pass. Because he is so great, but in some of his best ones, my favourite ones anyway, even though he's like that guy, he's one-upped by something else. Usually, yeah, exactly. But even in the movies where he is like almost invulnerable and things like that, he's still so compelling and so fun to watch. Some of the stuff he comes out with in his films.
For me, that's why he pips it over Sly. I think he's got a natural comedy bone, and he's getting better comedy timing. And when Sylvester Stallone tries to do comedy, it's fucking shoehorned in, and it's really
I'll definitely give you that. Don't get me, there are really funny bits in some of his films, but Arnie's, you can tell Arnie's a funnier man.
Arnie's more like the Jet Li type of funny, where he's not meaning it. But he's really funny. He's just got really good comedic timing.
Oh, yeah. His
Absolutely.
delivery of one-liners is second to none.
Yeah,
like
He's-
even the bad one-liners.
that's why he pips it for me over Sylvester Stallone. I think the two of them could go toe to toe. Like, if one was the protagonist and one was the villain, and they would be evenly matched.
Well, I think this is quite a good, because as I said, I had a wee bit about what I wanted to do about Arnie and Sly later on, but we've kind of determined it, right? Because obviously the first bit was, who do you think out of the two is the greatest action star of all time? Who do you think is the most iconic? I would go as far. I think Sly's the greatest. I think Arnie's more of an icon as Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Yeah.
I think he's done obviously lots of other stuff in the world. He's a sportsman and whatever else.
If you ask me who's the better actor, it's Stallone.
Oh, I like yours, aye.
But
The way
Still,
when you proposed this question, the way I kind of looked at it and the way that I've summed it up is that I feel that Arnold Schwarzenegger films are of much higher quality and bigger budget, but Sylvester Stallone works harder when he's in a film.
I mean, the overall quality, I would put Sly's catalogue against Arnie's catalogue any day.
I've also never
polished.
I've never felt like Arnie's come across it as like lazy in his approach though.
No.
So
I'm
that's
not
a guy
saying
that
he
works
is,
as well.
but I'm saying, in my personal opinion, I
Right,
think
fair
Sylvester
enough.
Stallone works that wee bit harder.
Oh, I
That's
mean,
fair.
half the time he's the writer, he's the producer, he does all the stunts
I
and
get where you're
stuff.
coming from that.
In Rocky, I mean, the whole thing is they all have to take shots and whatever else. He ribs broken by Dolph Lundgren and
Knocked
stuff
out.
like aye. So I know what you mean with that. I think I could comfortably put Sly's catalogue up against Arnie's, and I think
Just the
Sly would
action
win.
movies or all movies?
No, their entire back catalogue.
I don't know, man. It's hard to beat Kindergarten Cop.
Hercules.
True.
Last Action Hero. Love that film.
What a film.
I think the first and foremost, you've got the entire Rocky franchise.
Sorry?
It's not an action film, it's a comic book film.
You've got the entire Rocky franchise. You've got the entire Rambo franchise
Predator.
that don't exist. Yeah, you've got Predator. They've done one Predator movie,
Total Recall.
one Total Recall movie.
Yeah.
Still, that's all you need.
Is it? But because I think if you were to put it to a public vote, more people would have Rocky as their favourite film than either of those.
Do you know what we'll do? We'll put a poll in this one.
That'd be interesting
Yeah,
to
I
see
think
what
that
four
would be
people
good.
think, and it'll be to each.
Al,
Yeah,
John.
see what.
That's what I'd written down, was
Dave.
we'll let the audience decide, but it's interesting. I think we've got two clear Arnies and we've got one clear Sly, which is interesting. But again, love them both. Absolutely love them both off the face of the earth. And they created a genre. The whole thing with and one of my favourite stories about Arnie when he tricked Sly into doing throw mum off the train.
Yeah.
Because he put it about that he was going to do it, stuff like that, and Sly was like, no, I want it then, because they were competing it all the time.
Yeah.
And then obviously he ends up doing it, and it's the worst film ever made.
One of my favourite things as well is going back to the Last Action Hero is when he goes to the video store and he goes to look at the Terminator.
That was good.
Sylvester
It's
Stallone is sitting on the
Sylvester.
motorbike.
Yeah.
That's fucking outstanding.
That was
That's
good.
a
Really
part
great.
for the 90s.
Last Action Hero, I think, is a film that we all will remember fondly and stuff. It's not a great film.
It's terrible.
You know what I mean?
I remember having the toys as well when I was away, and you know
Mhm.
how the bad guy with the big yellow gloves and stuff and the axe. So the character, his hands were like that, and he would put his hands above his head to throw the axe. But see, when he didn't have the axe in his hand, they were just down there. They looked as if he was probably.
I was the first person to get it, a film that Arnold and Jackie Chan both starred in together.
It's going to be an old one, isn't it?
No.
This is, well,
Hang on,
It's not
Jackie Chan never did any Expendables, did he?
I'm
No.
just checking. Arnie was never in Cannonball.
no. Around the world in the 80s.
Never.
Okay.
That was
That's why I don't.
another car fire.
I've seen it and it's bad. Isn't that
Steve Coogan.
Steve Coogan?
Aye, it was pretty bad.
Awful.
So, in the interest of time, guys, right, because we've gone quite in depth here, I feel. Right,
Yeah.
And I put my hands in my pockets so I didn't clap. We're going to rattle through what we feel are our top 5 action movies of all time.
Fair
Are
enough.
we going to
Gonna
comment?
go-
Are we just going to go name?
We're going to rattle through them. So
Rattle
Steve,
through
you're going to give us 5 to 1.
Oh, I'm going to do 5, 4, 3, 4.
Just mix things up a bit.
Shit.
Right, okay,
Because that
fair
means
enough.
also then we don't do, oh, I've got that here and whatever else.
Yeah, fair enough. Okay, number 5, Desperado.
Okay.
I
Good shout,
fucking
left
loved that film when I was younger. Still love it now. Antonio Banderas is the
Beautiful.
greatest. Number 4, The Rock.
Yes.
Sean Connery, Nicolas Cage.
Close.
Amazing film. Number 3, Rush Hour 2. Action comedy, still counts. I think it's slightly better than the first one, but yeah, just absolutely adore it. Number 2, Predator does count, don't want to hear it. It's obviously it's got Arnie in it and it's amazing. We're flying through, I need to stop, try to talk about them. Number 1, Die Hard, of course.
Put
It
in an
is.
awfully weird order on your notepad there.
It was because I
You wrote down the films and then
I
the numbers.
started with 50 and then I got that down to 8 and then I picked my 5 when I got here.
And what did you leave out there? Last Boy Scout, John Wick,
Die Hard
Equilibrium's a good film by the way.
Equilibrium's a great film, I love that one. That was
Guy's name's John Preston.
That's
right.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah, another John.
Equilibrium's a really good film and that was the one that I kind of feel
It was close.
quite positive. And Die Hard 3, I go back and forth as to whether that's better than Die Hard.
I think,
It's my favourite.
I mean, we've done this with Indiana Jones as well. Like, I think that Die Hard 1 is the technically better film, but if you ask me which one I rewatch more, it's number 3. And the same applied to Indiana Jones. Raiders of the Lost Ark's an all-timer. And again, for me, if you were including that in the action thing, it'd be an easy winner.
Yeah.
But for me, it's more an adventure pick.
I agree.
But
and
Raiders, perfect. Last Crusade, watch all the time.
And the other one that just missed out was The Raid, because I know The Raid 2's fight scenes are technically better. The
But it's just more
story
the
in the
same, though.
first one's better just because it's that one building. They basically tell you what it is at the start, what needs to happen. You understand everybody's intentions at the start of that movie, and then shit goes wrong, and then you just deal with that the entire time, and then there's one twist.
It's a phenomenal film.
So that's your
Phenomenal
films and your honourable mentions done?
Yes, done.
film. Love it.
Cool. You want to go next? You want me to go next?
I'll go, that's fine. I too would include Rush Hour, but I've gone Rush Hour 1.
Fair
I
enough.
think, again, yes, there is a humongous comedy aspect, but I think the action is heavier. I've got the honourable mention for 5 would have been Face Off. Absolutely love Face Off. We were talking about the shots that make action movies. Face Off is one of the best scenes / shots in any action movie ever, and it's when the big massive gunfight and the wee boy's got his headphones on, and it's somewhere over the rainbow, and amongst all the bullets and the John Woo, it's so good,
Yeah,
man.
that's brilliant.
Just love that. Demolition Man, you mentioned it earlier on. That's my highest Sly film, right? I think Sly's got one of the best catalogues, and I think he's it for action movies, action stars. But Demolition Man, I just love, absolutely adored it from start to finish.
Got to say,
Lucy
though, Wesley Snipes is the best thing in that film. Though.
Oh, without a doubt, right?
He's
Silent
just
Phoenix.
stunning, he's just
He's called Silent Phoenix for starters. Die Hard, number 1, in at number 3. I had a feeling that we were all going to have that pretty close, and I don't even think it was in your top 5 there, was it?
It was number 1.
That was
Was it? I didn't catch that. Oh, you Die Hard 3 on the list.
Yeah, Die Hard 3 was on the list, but Die Hard 1.
Listen, it's for me probably the most iconic action movie of all time. Absolutely love it. However, again, well, I would challenge that actually. The Mission Impossible series, if I had to pick one, if I had to pick one, I would say Fallout. But I think Mission Impossible is up there with the best action series. I forgot about an action series which you mentioned earlier on, which I'm livid at because it's phenomenal. And again, honourable mention there, Top Gun Maverick. You need to see it. It's phenomenal. It's the film that, see when you look back 20 years from now, that's the film that's probably going to be the thing that started to save cinema. That and Spider-Man No Way Home. Because off the back of COVID, cinemas were on their knees. And that just all of a sudden was astonishingly good. Done over £1 billion for a Tom Cruise sequel for 30 years ago. It's a phenomenal film, 40 years. And then number 1, the reason I said maybe challenged Die Hard as being the most iconic, I could go between Terminator 2.
Yeah, Terminator 2 is great. It was almost on my list, but I basically felt like I had to pick between it and Predator as what was my favourite.
I'd say the
movie to
action
cover.
outweighs the sci-fi on both.
Yeah.
I think Predator counts 100%. Like again, it's primarily set on Earth and whatever else. Like I think we'd say the same about Predator 2. It's just shite. But Terminator 2, the iconic set pieces, the lorry chase through the canal or whatever it is, that bit for Grease, funnily enough. Just phenomenal.
And obviously we know now that Arnie's the good guy
Mhm.
in that one, but obviously
Spoiler.
that being like the twist. Come on, man.
that was
Come on, me man.
But yeah, the way that they build towards that, like throughout the thing, they never give that away until that moment. And as he says, get down.
Yeah.
Just when he comes
Get
in the corner,
down.
lifts the shotgun, get down.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Love it.
Did you have
Brilliant
for your
film.
honourable mentions as well?
The main two are Face Off and Top Gun Maverick, and I've tried to keep the list because, again, like you, there's so many. Speed
There's
was
too
very,
many.
very close. I love Speed.
Yeah.
The Matrix again. I thought, I thought the Matrix edged towards more sci-fi for me than action outright.
Here's the edging for this week's episode.
Oh, it's got to be done. Otherwise, that would be extremely close to the top. But aye,
Yeah.
Terminator 2, best action movie ever made. I feel.
Alright.
Cool, I'll do my honourable mentions first. So Roadhouse and Born Identity.
Yeah, films. That's the franchise I forgot
Yeah.
about. Man, they're phenomenal films.
Tremendous.
The Born Identity is in my massive list.
Oh, Supremacy.
no, it's great.
As well, the original
See,
trilogy.
the only action film I know that's done shaky cam well.
Yeah. So number 5 for me is Long Kiss Goodnight.
Great film.
Yeah.
Great film.
Number 4 is Speed.
Mhm.
3,
Right, Speed.
Total Recall. Arnie, not Colin Farrell. Number 2, Die Hard. And number 1, I'm still on a 50-50 between Cliffhanger and Robocop.
Oh.
I'm going to go Cliffhanger.
Is your favourite, man?
Favourite action movie of all
Favourite
time.
Fair
action
play.
film, aye.
I love it.
Mainly because it fits into all my tropes. You've got John Lithgow as the bad guy whose plan is way above his means.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Aye, and John Lithgow's amazing as well. He plays such
Yes.
a good bad guy.
Yeah, the appearance for Michael Rooker.
Aye, tremendous.
Mhm.
You've got the lassie who was in Die Hard 3 as well.
Yeah.
The,
Oh, Cliffhanger,
the German
brilliant.
girl.
Oh,
It's so good, man. I like
It's just this like, over the top bollocks bullshit would never
Yeah.
ever happen, but could happen,
Yeah.
and it's just fun. It's
I
amazing.
would say it's probably the main defining reason why Sly's levels above her.
Aye.
I love it. I'm surprised it's that high up the list.
I love it.
but
I love
It's good
Cliffhanger.
going, man.
I really do love it. As well, I do love Robocop as well, but Cliffhanger over Robocop.
Feeling that.
that's good.
That's me.
For the viewers, the last little bit for this episode, guys.
Okay.
I thought I'd do things slightly differently, but it'll take 1 minute. These sorts of action movies have kind of died down quite drastically, right? Sly and Arnie aren't competing in the box office every summer, and like, yeah, you've got Mission Impossible, but there's a bit of kind of fatigue and stuff like that, right? But if you're an action movie fan, and I think The Raid and The Raid 2 are great examples of this, right? What are some movies that you love that you think that the wider cinema going audience maybe aren't as familiar with? That if you love action movies, seek these out. So my two in my head were The Raid and The Raid 2, because I think that most people probably don't even really know about them.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I would also put the Carl Urban Judge Dredd
Yeah.
in that. I think that was phenomenal. It was just The Raid, basically.
Just Dread, aye.
Dread, thank you.
Dread.
Dread. What are some others that you think that were kind of lesser known? Hard Target. Not Hard Boiled, sorry, was another one that came into my head.
Yeah.
Any thoughts? More recent ones that might be.
Gotta say, I'm surprised nobody said Kill Bill, like the first one.
Yeah.
Because that's a very good action film. No, I think most of the stuff that I've written down. Oh, Kung Fu Hustle. Surely everybody's seen that. at this point. Yeah, the two fantastic films. I'll go with Kung Fu Hustle because I don't think many people have watched that one, because that's also an action. That's an action comedy, and the physical comedy in that is amazing. Like, just top notch.
Kung Fu Hustle was amazing. There was a guy called Stephen Chow, and off the back of that, he then obviously started producing and writing millions of stuff and everything like that. I think he was also involved somewhere in Ong Bak, obviously. Do you remember Ong Bak?
Yeah, I remember Ong Bak.
Brilliant as well.
Ong Bak's great.
Sure, yeah.
All the Tony Jaa films are amazing.
That's the only one I think I've watched.
Nowadays, there was 3. There's like a kind of trilogy.
Right, okay.
I don't know. I'm trying.
Anything else ringing bells?
Equilibrium.
Great shout. Alright. Under the radar.
I really liked. It's a terrible film, but I really enjoyed it. Was it Gerard Butler, Michael C. Hall? Was it Game or Gamer?
Gamer.
I
Aye.
really enjoyed Gamer. It was terrible, but I really fucking enjoyed it.
I don't think it's a particularly great film, but it tries really hard
It's
with its
fun.
action sequences. And that one scene of Michael C. Hall with the puppets,
Yeah.
like puppeteering the people and doing like that. Was it I've Got You Under My Skin?
Yeah.
Brilliant.
You've got such good attention to detail, man. You don't forget anything.
Maybe it was one of Sylvester Stallone's earliest films. I remember seeing it when I was a wee guy. It was Death Race 2000.
Oh, I remember that.
He was very young in that,
Mhm.
like 20s.
Do you remember there was another two Sylvester Stallone ones now that you've just said that? Over the Top,
Yep.
Yeah,
the arm wrestling
the
one,
one.
amazing.
Yeah.
And what was the one, what was it called, where he's in jail and Donald Sutherland's the warden and they all fix up the car?
Oh,
That was so good, man.
shit.
No, I have like the vaguest memory of seeing this movie.
We'll
I'll
remember
never
it,
be
we'll
able
put
to
it in the
remember what
comments.
it's called. Aye.
But that was a tremendous film. Any day, I bet you any money I'll remember it.
Aye.
Any money. Guys, thank you for joining me. Anything
Awesome,
you'd like to
anytime.
add? Are we feeling good about our action extravaganza?
No, I'm feeling really good. I would just like to add one wee bit in. So over the last couple of weeks I had a wee bit of health scare. I found a lump. I got it all checked out, got it all tested, we're all good. I just want to encourage everybody, if you think something isn't right, please get it checked out. If you don't check yourself regularly, please do.
Recheck each other.
We do check. We have one big bath. Imagine we all had a bath. But please get it checked out. Even if you think it's not worth anybody's time, you think it's stupid, you think it's the smallest thing, don't ever think that. Please get it checked out.
Yeah. It's a lovely message to end on, mate, I would say.
Yeah, I would say so.
And we're glad you're okay.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Me too.
Thanks very much, guys.
Thanks.
Cheers.